Okay, people, let's see how this goes. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, different kind of cart thing. Used to be a member of the congregation years ago.
What made you stop going?
A lot of things were happening. I had a lot of things work in that, and then I tried coming back a few times, but yeah, things I was coming across online in the news and that just made me go, nah, I can't do it. The whole child abuse thing, the ARC in 2015, yeah, that really. And now being able to get a hold of letters that have been leaked, the Shepherd the Flock book, which is really, really eye-opening. It's just like, that, can't do it. Yeah, I missed some of it, but you know, when you see the cover up of the child abuse and that, and hear things in the news like $2 million being paid out over 2 years to not hand over a database of names in America.
$2 million for what?
There's a court case in San Diego where it was brought out, a victim of child abuse. It was suing the Watchtower Society, and doing it, a representative of the Watchtower made known that there was a database of names of pedophiles, accused pedophiles. So the court ordered the Watchtower Society to hand it over. What happened was, first they handed over a partial database with names redacted, so they were ordered to hand over the full. And they ended up with a $4,000 a day sanction by the Supreme Court for every day they didn't hand it over. And yeah, a court order which I believe is not against the organisation, no, God's standards. And they, they paid out over $2 million to not hand over the name, to defy the court order. I heard they paid out the guy, the victim of abuse, but I don't know what's happened about the other bit.
The thing is that the way I see things, if I look at when I was young, you didn't become a choir boy because of the priest, because he molested you. That's been going for years and years and years, and now with a lot of, I'm talking about the Church of England, they're the Catholics and so on.
But they at least admit there's a problem.
That's been going on for years and years,
but
you hear a lot of it. But how many cases do you hear about the witnesses?
Well, let's see. The ARC brought out that on record, because the elders aren't investigators, like trained investigators, they get to choose where to go. I mean, you can actually get a copy of the Shepherd the Flock book online because it's been leaked. But 1,006 cases were, this was from documents handed by the Watchtower Society in Australia from 1950 to 2015. 1,006 cases were recorded. 579 admitted that they did the abuse. Not one was reported to the police. And that's by Watchtower records, handed by the Watchtower Society by Bethel.
Yeah, there is something what you don't know. There is also, in some instances, the police do not want to get involved in that.
Of course they do.
Yeah. Now, in some cases that do not want to get involved. When you look the primary thing, if someone is a witness and does child abuse, he abuses Jehovah's authority. He goes against God's word, and then he gets this fellowship.
And then how do you? Yeah, but so is the Watchtower Society.
You see, when what gets me is that the Jews, for hundreds of years went against their own God.
This is not about the Jews. This is about the Watchtower and their history of protecting child abusers.
Yeah, let me finish. And they went against God, and he was patient with them, and eventually he took their spirit away. We are answerable to God. If there's a pedophile in our congregation we don't know about, he'll be sorted out by the Creator.
But see, that's passing the buck, because when there's a pedophile in the congregation and the elders know about it, no one else does. So people don't know that there's a predator in the congregation.
He gets his fellowship.
No, that's not true. Actually,
he does.
No.
Yeah, he does.
No, so it's by actual documents given to the ARC.
The only thing is, I think if you want to pursue this, you show us the documents.
They're online.
I'm only going by what you're saying.
Well, then go to the ARC website, case number 29, and they've got. You can actually download the submissions by the organisation.
Morning.
And you can look that up. They've got handwritten notes that have been copied in the two cases that were represented. The Shepherd the Flock book. I mean, I've actually photographed the copies. I mean, it's April 2017, because there's people that are in the organisation, but they actually they see things that upset them, disgust them, so they leak them out. But the fact is, this is ARC, this is documents. The abuse is actually, ARC was interesting because you have the fact that because the police aren't told about the accusations, pedophiles can get the blue card.
I think it's best to get your facts straight.
I do have my facts straight.
Because, okay, it happens everywhere.
Yeah, but the difference is that the Jehovah's Witnesses,
any society, but eventually
you're supposed to be God's organisation, from high up.
What do you think is God's organisation?
Only God can say.
Sorry?
Only God can say what his organisation is.
You don't think he's got one?
No, I'm saying that people can't say it, and when you've got the governing body who have actually actively promoted the hiding of abuse via their publication. Shall I read the?
You know what? I tell you something. Can you talk something more positively? Because
not about the witnesses.
Okay.
Because I'm against child abuse.
You know what happened? Then you can move on. Okay.
No, public place.
They don't want to listen to you.
Tough public place.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll actually read from the Shepherd the Flock book.
Listen to it.
So, well, I can still read it.
You can go.
Well, you can move because I'm going to read it anyway. Okay, then you can listen. Let's see. I actually read the other day.
Hey, did you hear what I say?
Sorry.
Can you move?
Did you hear what I say? Public place.
You shut up.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah, I do so.
That's not very Christian of you.
What happened? I do so because you're a negative person and you want to make us wrong.
You're supposed to be able to.
Yeah, I know.
Defend your faith.
We defend, but you are a negative person.
I'm actually negative about what the witnesses have done.
You're not talking the truth.
Here we go.
You're not talking the truth.
The truth.
You're not talking the truth.
I am telling the truth.
How are you?
No.
You can see. So you're saying that the ARC is full of liars, that the tens of thousands of victims are liars, that all the civil cases that have been settled out of court are all liars.
What about if Satan uses you to give bad reports?
So
Same
that,
the devil.
oh, so you mean Satan's using the governing body?
Yeah, Satan uses you to make negative reports.
What have you mean? I mean,
Yeah.
why don't you want to? Why can't you guys admit that there's a problem?
Because we know there is a problem,
But you do nothing about it. I mean, what the two witness rule? Pedophiles don't have two witnesses. I mean, that's a big issue. I mean, the number of people the victims that suffer because that two victim rule is not used in adultery.
what happened is there is a problem because people do not obey God.
But it's covered. The problem is also that it's covered up by the organisation.
It's not covered up like the churches. The churches
Yes, it is.
up.
It's worse because the churches at least admit there's a problem.
Anyway, we do not want to talk about it because I think you're very...
Well, this is what I do. This is what I do.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, this is when I come across a cart, I ask these questions because it's good for people to see the reality behind this falseness.
You want to make us wrong. So
You are wrong.
You are wrong.
The Shepherd of the Flock book. I mean, you got that, let's see.
Morning.
Good
morning.
The child abuse stuff. You know, you got, if the accused denies the accusation, the investigator should try to arrange a meeting with him and the accuser together. Really? What's this thing about bringing them together? What else is there? Yeah, if the child is accusation of child sexual abuse and the victim is currently a minor, the elder should contact the branch office before arranging a meeting with the child and the alleged abuser. A child in front of their abuser? Really? Now, why do you call the Bethel before the legal department?
Look at that.
Well, why do you call the legal department before, you call the police?
Talk to the bloke. Just let him stay there and say what he wants to do. Make himself look like an idiot. That's fine by me.
Yeah, well, I actually filmed this stuff and put it online.
That's fine.
And it's actually, and the abuse doesn't look good. The disrespect shown, the lack of Christian understanding and behaviour.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I had someone laugh at me, mock me, because I've got a high form of autism, call me a bludger, try to intimidate me. And you tried to drown me out by coughing. Okay.
I don't feel too good.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but you're actually being filmed as well. So this doesn't look good for you guys. So yeah, we're all around former witnesses who expose the hypocrisy. And the beginning of the year, this happens. See, this is what happened, people. See, this is these two now. See, they're ignoring me, which is fine because I mean, remember the beginning of the year, I was actually standing here in front of the one in Maroochydore for a good hour. Now about the whole, I could actually stand here and read, because even if you don't hear, or don't want to actively listen, people as they go past will hear. You remind me of the guy in the beginning of the year actually, and that video has gotten 4,000 views that I know of. It's really good for mine. Oh yeah, my name by the way is John Salve. I used to study with Simon Froelich. I've actually been out with you, Max, when I was a witness, well, when I was an unbaptised publisher. You weren't very popular with people because you're just too aggressive and disrespectful to people. But yeah, I first started with the Flemings 20 odd years ago. But yeah, and then it was last August I was aggressively told not to speak to some women I was just casually talking about the governing body with. Okay, but yeah, see, the thing is that this doesn't look good. When you treat people like scum, when you treat like I'm an apostate by your eyes, where the actual apostate, it actually means somebody who leaves a religion for another. So anyone who leaves theirs for yours is an apostate. Here we go. In a case in which a brother denies an allegation of child abuse and he's been accused by only one witness, the following direction is given if he moves to another congregation. The elder should consult the branch office before sending any information regarding the accusation to the elders in the new congregation. You're laughing at me? That's not very Christian.
What's on here?
Yeah, it's a little bit obvious.
I love that.
You remind me of that guy at the beginning of the year. It would be helpful if your letter to the branch office provided a detailed summary of the matter and explained the spiritual condition and personal circumstances of the accused and the accuser. Why not call the police? With regard to the accused, the following questions should be answered. What is his interaction with children? Does he admit to any activity with an accuser that could be misinterpreted by the accused? Misinterpreted as sexual abuse? It's a bit hard to misinterpret sexual abuse. What's his response to what the accuser, or what do you think his response would be, is a predator? Has he been I mean, what the hell does, inappropriate contact with adult sisters or pornography have to do with child abuse? It's about kids. It doesn't matter if they watch porn. It doesn't matter if they... I mean, the number of elders that have been busted for child sexual abuse. I mean, come on. I've got a friend whose abuser was an elder. He's in jail now. So what does inappropriate contact with an adult have to do with raping a child? Well, that was good timing. You laughed at that. Has he been counted? What is the level of his spirituality? Is a child rapist? You're being too obvious, dude, in pretending to ignore me. And really, when you think about it, you're supposed to be witnessing. All you're doing is sitting around. And if you're watching something else, well, that's not really good, is it? Do all the elders in the body believe he can be trusted with children? He's been accused of raping a child. What do? You call the police. It doesn't matter what the elders think. You call the bloody police. I mean, and this is from the Elders book, April 2017 edition of Shepherd the Flock book. What page? Page 132. 133 follows on. The following questions should be answered with regard to the accuser. What is the level of maturity of the child or youth? Really? What does a kid's maturity have to do with them being raped? What, a 2-year-old can't say they've been accused? Is he or she describing conduct that one his age would not normally know about? That's one legitimate thing. Even then, it really doesn't matter, because if a child makes an accusation, it has to be followed through by the police. Is a child of his parents known to be serious and mature? Really? What does a seriousness and maturity have to do with a child being raped and saying they've been raped? It's got nothing to do with it. Is his memory consistent, or is it intermittent, or does it involve repressed memories? Obviously, you don't know anything about child sexual abuse. What is the reputation of the parents? What the fuck does the reputation of the parents have to do with a child saying they've been raped by someone? What does it have to do with it? Are they spiritually and emotionally mature? You've got to be joking. Spiritually mature? Come on, what does that have to do with a rapist? No. And after considering the matter, the branch office will then give you direction as to what information about the allegations should be shared, if any, with the elders of the new congregation. Yeah, that sounds like it's not covered up officially by the organisation. That's the same as passing along. Someone's been accused of child sexual assault. Let's move them to another church when it comes to the Catholics, Anglicans. But instead, you basically, it's the same thing. In your elder book, it's in your elder book. Can be found online. And these are people who aren't trained to investigate matters. They're not the police. 1,006 recorded cases with not one reported, even though almost, well, over half of them admitted that it was done. Let's see, what else is there? Because I actually did a few things. I mean, this is awesome. People walk past, they'll hear me. And the last time someone tried to do this thing, I was actually there until they left. There was a good hour and a half. I got plenty of, got a good battery. I got this as well. Your attitude is very telling, because that's the usual attitude of those who condone the pedophile paradise. They're not apostate-driven lies. Oh, actually, it's interesting. Old Jeff Jackson, he was actually at the Royal Commission into Institutionalised Child Abuse, and he actually said, on the 14th of August 2015, Jeffrey W. Jackson speaking under oath, it would be quite presumptuous to say that we're the only spokesperson that God is using. So obviously your own governing body member is saying that you aren't the only true organisation. Mind you, when you're with a, a multinational organisation that has property. Let's see, what else is there? Could I actually photographed a few pages for the book. I mean, you obviously don't care about the fact that, 560 people, by your own records, who admitted child sexual abuse were never reported to the police. You see, this is what happens when you confront Jehovah's Witnesses with their child abuse protection. This is how Jehovah's Witnesses feel about child abuse. You try and tell them about it, and this is how they react. 579 admitted out of 1,006, and not one was reported to the police. You've even been told, the witnesses have been told by Bethel, by the governing body, to destroy records, to impede police by letters, that this stuff is leaked. It's official stuff. Let's see, what else is there? Let's see, there's page, chapter 5, page 51.